It's 101.9 The Mix. It's McCabe and Jenny from the Afternoon Mix, and super excited today, taking a break from her tour. We currently have LØLØ in studio. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you first off for being here. You're like, what, just over halfway through the tour?
Yeah, I think just over halfway now.
I mean,
yeah.
Is it five bands? Is it five bands?
It's
five artists?
normally 4 bands. Tonight it's actually 5. But yeah, sometimes people hop on, hop off. It's been like a lot. But me, State Champs, and Boys Like Girls are the 3 consistent ones.
How is it touring with so many bands? Sometimes I feel like artists, you go out, maybe it's one other group or maybe one other artist, but to have so many, I feel like it just would be chaos the entire time.
It is, but it's like organized chaos. And everyone's so sweet. Like, honestly, we keep saying, like, this is like, wow, everyone on the tour is so nice. Like, all the crews, all the bands. So it's been really fun. Like, also, especially for me, I'm usually, like, the only girl always. So it's like all these big brothers around. It's pretty fun, yeah.
What's been like the most eye-opening experience so far on tour?
I would say, honestly, just like I'm from Canada, from Toronto. So every time I come out to the States and like people are singing my lyrics back to me, I'm like, whoa, like this is crazy. I'm always like, whoa, I'm taken aback a bit. So that, I guess, for the eye-opening thing, it's cool to see like just, yeah, how music spreads. It's cool.
Well, I was going to say, so it was, 2019, the last time you went to Toronto, your hometown, to play?
Yes.
Back then? So,
yeah.
I mean, you're going back. I mean, that's in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah,
is that like a
exciting.
homecoming for you? Is that going to be an even more special show?
Yeah, oh, definitely. I mean, my parents will be there, so that'll be nice. They haven't seen me at all. Like, I think they drove once. I did Sad Summerfest a couple years ago. They came to a Buffalo show, and literally every single show was packed for my set, even though I was one of 9. So, like, I would be the opener, and then the one show they came was, like, so thin. And I'm like, I swear, guys, people are here.
They like me.
Yeah, and so it'll be nice for them to see, like, a packed room.
I want to take it back to a viral moment for you on TikTok when you recreated Taylor Swift's song Betty, but you did it from Betty's perspective. What was the response from Swifties like during that moment?
Oh, everyone loved it. Like, Olivia Rodrigo commented on it, saying that she loved it, yeah. And, yeah, that was crazy. I put that up, and I think it got, like, 200 views or something, and I think a Swiftie posted it on this, like, Taylor Swift Reddit, and then the next day it was like, and I was like, what is going on? And, like, me being a Swiftie, I was like, damn, real recognizes real. Let's go.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I got to say, we are sending people to see Taylor Swift in Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Oh.
And since you're a Swiftie, I got to know, like, what's that one song you can't miss seeing her perform?
Oh my God. It's honestly so hard to choose one. Like, I feel like for me, 15 was kind of my favorite.
Okay.
But it's like, they're all so good. It's really hard to, like, also Blank Space.
Yes.
I know that's further along, but yeah.
Well, I mean, as a Swiftie, and I don't want to just keep going on Swiftie, but do you ever cover songs then on tour, like throw out one that you'll do during your set?
Yeah, so, well, normally when I have a longer set, or back when I had less songs, I would always put it in a cover. My cover used to be Teenage Dirtbag, and it was just like a really funny moment. Now that I have more songs out and less time, I kind of just do a couple snippets. So during one of my songs, I do a snippet of Brain Stew by Green Day, and then another one, I do Mr. Brightside by The Killers. But just like a couple lines in a song, kind of like a mashup.
I love that.
In one of my songs, yeah.
You've been compared to, like, Avril Lavigne and Paramore, but who would you say, like, you got a lot of your music inspiration from?
Definitely Green Day. Well, I mean, I grew up listening to, like, my 2 favorites. I loved Avril, of course, but my 2 favorites were Hillary Duff and Green Day.
Two very different.
Very different, right? I would, like, those would be, like,
that.
the 2 CDs I would cycle through. American Idiot and Metamorphosis by Hillary Duff. And I actually feel like it's a very valid, like, amalgamation of what my music is today, to be honest.
Have you had a chance to, like, talk with Billy?
I have. I met Billy and Mike on a random Wednesday night in LA at this bar, like, so randomly. I was at this birthday party for my friend, karaoke, and one of my other friends messaged me being like, Green Day's at our hotel. And I was like, address. And I didn't even tell my friends I was leaving. I called an Uber black SUV, like the fastest thing that will get me there. I was like, I don't care how much money I spend. I got to the, like, bar that he was at in 5 minutes. And then once I got there, I, like, somehow got introduced to him. And I was like, played it so cool. And then I went to the bathroom and bawled my eyes out.
What
But
did
he
you
hadn't
say?
known.
I was going to say, what is that conversation like between you and Billy Joe from Green Day?
Well, I was like, hey, I know we're not supposed to do this because it's LA, but like I have to like come up to you and tell you like you are the reason I make music. Like you're my biggest inspiration. Can I buy you a drink? And and I bought him a drink and we talked. Yeah.
He didn't like look weird at all. He's like, yeah, sure, I'll take a drink from you.
Yeah.
Like, can I buy you a drink?
Yeah. No. Yeah, he was so cool. They always say like, don't meet your idols, but like and then I always say back to that, my idol is the coolest person ever. Oh, so it was sick. Yeah.
Did he give you any advice at all?
Yeah, he actually did give me a bunch of advice, and he told me, we were talking about just like music and stuff, and he had told me how like people would throw stuff at him or like at Green Day for not being punk rock enough. And then I was like, damn, like if people throw stuff at Green Day for not being punk enough, they're gonna throw things at me one day. And
How
then
is Green Day not punk enough for one?
well, right? Exactly. And then I'm like, well, in that case, I'm a big like so. And then I had a festival this past spring in the UK, and someone threw a drink at me, and I was prepared because ever since Billy told me that, I thought about in my head what I would say, and so I was prepared to say. Then I
what
fired.
Did you say back to the?
I don't know if I can
person
say it on the radio.
You can say we can bleep anything.
Oh, okay,
out.
okay.
Please say.
So I said, "Who threw that?" And this guy proudly put his arm out. He's like, "Me." And I was like, was that a good throw or a bad throw? I genuinely was like, did he throw that at me because like he thinks I'm hot and he's trying to cool me down? Like that's how delusional I am.
Right.
And and he's like, you suck or something. Like you suck something. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. What? Have you never gotten your? Is that what's getting you down? and then I said, you look like a guy who I'd never. And I love. And then the crowd went wild, and it actually ended up. It was taped, thank God. My content guy was like on it. And that day at the festival, I had 0 interviews. No one wanted to talk to me. It was the second day. And then after that, I had 6 interviews and everyone wanted to talk to me. And I ended up getting like 30,000 followers on Instagram because I posted like this interaction with this man.
You know, I had a similar situation.
Oh, really?
I didn't respond the same way, but I remember I was up on stage about to introduce a band, and someone threw, I could see it in like slow motion, this like Jack and Coke just like coming towards my face and got me right there. I couldn't say anything afterwards, but I feel you.
Yeah. Why do people do that? Luckily, it didn't hit me, and it almost hit my guitar player's like his whole pedal board. It's like, are people okay?
They're not.
No, they're not. They're so not okay. But yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, I thank that man because he gave me good content.
It's a moment
yeah,
now.
he gave me good content.
Well, let's get into some of your new music. One of the tracks that I was kind of listening to before this was Faceplant. So I guess, that's something that can happen on a daily basis in real life, but also with relationships.
Yes.
Kind of break down Faceplant for us.
Like what it was about and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. So I actually did recently faceplant in March.
So that was a legit thing.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if you
can see like my scar still. Okay, so good, good. We've been putting on our scar cream. Yeah, I was leaving a guy's house and it was cold, and I had my hands in my pockets. I was visiting family in Toronto, and my mom. I hate that moms are always right. She's always like, "Don't walk with your hands in your pockets. One day you'll fall and you won't be able to stop your fall." And I fell, I slipped, and then I fell face first on the concrete. Just like chin split open, broke both sides of my jaw, my nose, and my chin. Yeah. And I couldn't eat for 2 months. It was brutal. But then it gave me the idea. I didn't just fall, I face planted. And I was like, that's kind of funny. So then I wrote that because I was like, I think that's a good metaphor for really falling hard for someone.
Another song I love that you recently released, Hot Girls in Hell, and you said you wrote the first half when you were going through the sad phase and then the second half through the angry phase after a breakup. What's the worst phase to get through between sad or angry?
I feel like sad is worse because sad you feel sick.
Mm-hmm.
Like
feel
for
empty,
me, yeah,
sick,
I'm I can't eat.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just. Yeah, I just am in my bed. I remember you just can't eat, and I think that's the worst. At least when I'm mad, I'm like, okay, we're gonna start some shit. I'm gonna kill this man. but when I'm sad and I'm just not hyped. There's no fix. There's nothing you can do in that moment, really.
Yeah, and you said you have more new music on the way, right?
Yes.
So what can we expect from that?
A lot of new music in the coming few months, or I guess more than
Are
a
you
few
gonna like
months.
sprinkle singles here and there?
Yes.
Is it gonna be a whole project?
Yeah,
at
I'm
some
gonna.
point?
Yes, it's gonna be a whole bigger project, which I'm really excited. I haven't ever released an album, so I'm really excited to like release a big, what's it called? A big group of work. Yeah, so we'll be doing singles for sure, just because music today, it's easier to like. I don't want my songs to get lost, but yeah, definitely like a lot of new songs, and I think also people will be surprised because for me, I usually put like really upbeat, intense songs, but there'll be a lot of like singer-songwriter, more like Taylor Swift-esque. But yeah, singer-songwriter stuff on there too.
Very cool.
And with
excited about.
being on tour, obviously, right now, but 2024, what are you looking forward to on top of new music?
Hopefully more touring. Yeah, I love touring. I'm like, if I could tour every day, I would. But then I also love writing songs. So it's all about finding a balance because when I'm on tour, I do not have the brain capacity. I don't know how people write songs on tour. I don't. Ed Sheeran, I'm jealous of you. But yeah.
Well, you performed at Lollapalooza, you mentioned a couple years ago. You're performing at the Aragon tonight. What are you most excited for? Like, what can people expect from your show?
I'm excited. I have a brand new show since the last performance. A lot of like way different songs, newer songs. So yeah, they could just expect a great show.
A lot of high energy.
Yes, a lot of high energy for sure. Yeah.
Well, before you hit the stage tonight, we do have a few questions from our box of possibly unfortunate questions. Maybe you can pull two from the box.
I like this box. I like that hand.
We apologize in advance for what you draw.
Okay, I'm scared.
Okay.
Should I take two right now?
Sure.
Yeah. Be good ones. Come on.
What's the funniest song you know all the lyrics to? Grace Kelly by Mika?
Okay.
All right.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Do you hang your toilet paper over or under?
It's a really important question.
Yeah.
People can be very
Over.
split.
I hate when it's under.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the right way?
I think it's
You do?
over.
Over
because-
is it's like when you just pull it like that, but if under, it would be behind, kind of.
And do you know why people do it over?
Because it's easier?
Yeah, I heard it's because of spiders. Like
I hate
'cause
spiders.
If it's under, they can hide like up in there, and then when you pull it out, they'll get on you. So I think you're smart by pulling it over.
I hate
Over.
spiders. That's my biggest fear.
That's my biggest fear too. I feel like they can crawl like in your ears and all
I
that
keep
kind
thinking
of stuff.
that they're in my bunk, but they're not.
I know,
I'm like,
yeah.
what if they are?
And then a last question. We have a dating segment on our show, Deal Breaker Drama, and you write a lot of songs about relationships and breakups. So what's like a big dating deal breaker for you where you're like, if they do this, it's an immediate deal breaker?
If they're rude to like service people.
Okay.
Like if someone was like rude to a waiter, I'd be like, what is wrong with you? That would be it. There would be no coming back from that.
And it's kind of embarrassing for you to sit there when they're being
Yeah.
rude to the person.
Also, it's like, what the hell? Be nice to. I hate. Yeah, just like be nice to people. Oh my god.
That's a good piece of advice
Yeah.
to leave on.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
LØLØ for stopping by 101.9 The Mix.